We'd already been doing business with CarMedic for a number of years and have a relationship with independent or a franchise gentleman here. So for him to introduce and then also have the backing of CarMedic in case there was any issues really was gave you a feeling of comfort and concrete that, hey, these guys are for real. They do the business the right way. Hey, and they're going to take care of our customer.
I think my first thought was that I was thankful that I had insurance first, and then I knew to call CarMedic, only to ask him, okay, well, how are we going to do this, and are there more CarMedic guys to come by, But that's one guy in a van, so I knew it was going to be a long, long process. Tyler told me from CarMedic that we are partners with Global, and that they can be here in 24 hours, and they'll send a whole team. I was really relieved.
So, when the first day I had like 12 phone calls of people wanting to repair my cars. People dropping off cards, cold calling. So Monday morning, I came in, Tom met with me and he said, hey, I have a guy that I can bring in. That's just what they do. And I've never experienced this before, so I trust Tom. I mean, he does our weekly, side panels for us. So, I was like, okay, well, what do we do? I don't know what you're talking about. So Jason came in, and within the first 10 seconds, I just trusted the guy. You know how it is. It was just there. I was like, okay, dude, tell me what's going on. And he explained the process. And there's a lot about the process that if you've never experienced before, that you need to have a professional in your corner.
Yeah, everybody's coming knocking on your doors. Some people, you can tell they're not from the United States. They just keep lowering their price because they want your business so bad. It just makes you feel really untrustworthy of them right off the get-go. And they think it's all about money. A lot of times it's more about the service.
There was a big difference of what they thought they could repair a car for versus what Global says they could repair a car for. And here I am stuck in the middle, not knowing. And that's my point of saying if a Global wasn't up here, I would have said, hey, I fixed my cars for X amount per car. And then there wouldn't have been the extra money left over to pay for the lost sales, pay this lost commissions. The salespeople are down for 3 weeks as we couldn't sell a car. So a lot of the expenses as a dealership, as we suffered, Global gets you back that you can actually still operate your business.
Well, your number ended up higher, but also, you guys could see things I couldn't see. When I looked at the cars, I'd see 6, 7, 8, 9 dents. And then when you put your lights on it, and I saw 130 per car, I would have never seen that, especially if I was bidding on the car at the auction. If my insurance company had asked me, hey, what do you want per car? My number probably would have been half of what you guys ended up getting for the cars.
Well, like everything, you're always leery when something like this happens. There's a lot of storm chasers out there. I'll be honest with you. They're gypsies. They're here. They're gone. They're this. They're that. You're leery of everybody. But I will tell you one thing: when Global came in, you just felt comfortable when you started dealing with them. Okay, to start with, first and foremost, we don't know the processes for this. You think you know until you get into it, but when you get into something this overwhelming, you really need somebody to do it. You wouldn't hire a roofer to put in a staircase, you know what I'm saying? So you really need guys that specialize in this field. It's just the way it is.
If you're a dealership and your lot is hit hard, and we've worked with many of these dealerships through this, they really owe to take the time to talk to PDR, Jason, or something like that. Let them explain the whole process, because I deal with the insurance companies every day. I don't think the dealerships are used to it a lot of times. A lot of times they're not really connected with their body shop industry that well. It was explained to me what you guys did with the insurance company and basically getting that set price established through not only talking about this car once, not twice, but 3 times. You're not gouging the insurance company. You just want to be, it to be fair. And that whole process was explained, and I said, holy smokes, this could turn out to be a wonderful event versus a scourge, on your bottom line.
I laugh because I'll say this, and this is, whoever's watching this are going to watch this. This is not a paid interview, so I'm going to tell you, whoever is watching this, after going through this, if we get hit again, most people's first response would be like, I can do this myself. and not pay the fee, because obviously being here, you pay Global to help you guys. You do, and we all understand that they're doing this for themselves also. After going through it with Jason, I wouldn't recommend anyone, because the amount of money, whatever that check is you write them, they've got you 10 times that with their knowledge of being in the lane, writing estimates with the adjusters.
Well, I think it was pretty seamless. You're very involved with taking care of the customer and making sure the flow goes well with the PDR, and if we have to do any additional repairs with it, you work with us, fluently and seamlessly, and flows right into the process. Is almost like assembly line
for me. And they came in here, they took it over, they delivered on everything they said they were going to do. They dealt with the insurance company one-on-one. I knew where I was going to be. They gave me a deadline from the start to the finish. They gave me a deadline on what my damage was going to be. They said they'd deliver in a report form of everything that was going to happen in their dollars and cents, and they did that. I mean, there wasn't one thing that happened in this process that was less than what I expected to have happen.
I met you within 24 hours. You were here, and as soon as I met you, you guys seemed to have a lot of confidence, both with the information that you had and your pamphlet, your website. I knew, okay, these guys have been through this, so I started getting a little bit more confident, because I've dealt with insurance, obviously, plenty of times for building damage, car theft, and all kinds of things. So I actually thought that was going to be a lot more work, and I think that you and Jason saying that you were going to handle it from stem to stern, I thought, well, this is not going to go the way I think it's going to go. But I never had to deal with my insurance company really at all. You guys did everything.
I think you guys did a great job. I think the cars were repaired properly. I think the team was clean. There was no disruption in our business at all, and we were left to selling cars. So.
But we got to that point where it was a fair offer. We got our cars fixed, and it's unbelievable professionals. Never heard a swear word. Never saw a piece of trash. Never. I mean, it was awesome.
I thought Global did very well. There was no question at the beginning of it, the first time we had people lined out in the service aisle trying to get estimates, and it's pretty gruesome when you start right at first. But once you get into the communication, the process of estimating, that helped out a ton just with the PDR and working with insurance companies. It turned out to be a very good relationship, and that's what you look for in the business today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when Jason first came in, the first thing when we talked about different scenarios that were going to happen, I mean, he laid out pretty much everything that was going to happen and throughout the process. And, you're still leery. Okay, I promised the moon, deliver the stars, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on here. I don't know about all this, but I got to tell you, once we got started with the process, it pretty much went seamless. We were through the cars in less time than what he promised, which is a great thing for my situation. I mean, I was pinned up against the wall pretty good with this thing, and they came through, delivered on everything.
You guys actually went through and even found the moldings. You didn't lose any keys. You guys kept contained in the back part of the lot, and you guys were really organized around, so we always had a good contact. If a car got sold while we were going through this process, you guys knock it out real quick. I'd get my car back, my keys back, and we were ready to go. And that was actually something that I said, there's no way that this is going to work this easy, but it worked that easy.
It was very efficient. I think that anytime you have a catastrophic situation, you're going to have issues, okay? But I think it's how you handle the issues that are most important. If we had an emergency, if we had something that came back that was minor, it got fixed, it got handled, and there was no questions asked.
Nothing that they didn't say I was going to run into. You're always going to run into some issues. Nobody's perfect in the game. You're going to have some of these. If you think you're going to do 300 repairs on vehicles and you're not going to have a tail light connector that doesn't get plugged in, or a XM radio that doesn't get plugged in, or something that gets missed along the way, you're mistaken. But I'm telling you, I've been through a lot worse, and nobody's infallible. I mean, we're all humans. We make mistakes ourselves every day doing the repair process. So I couldn't complain about any of those.
Oh yeah, I have many times actually already referred to you guys. I've tried to we tried to get a dealership to buy into your service, and inevitably they went with somebody else, and it wasn't a month later that they were calling us and showing in because we're their body shop, they're calling us trying to say, hey, can you come down and fix, take a look at this and fix it, and we're looking at the work, and it was just terrible.
Whether it's your first one or your 8th one, I would recommend Global.
Probably not. I would say if you don't ask for Global to at least come in and give you a shot at quoting the job, you're probably making a big mistake. And you need to be confident in that person that's doing it, okay? And I'm telling you right now, I have never met anybody I was more confident in than Jason and Global PDR. I'm telling you.
No, as a matter of fact, while you guys were here, I recommended you to the next door neighbor dealership and one down the street, and I would absolutely recommend you. I could not believe how easy that was.